Yeah, I started all over again. In the beginning, I made these, my original 2.5-inch tiles. I don't actually have any of these left. I've given them all away over the years, but they're these 2.5-inch square modular tiles made of cardboard, spaces that are 1.25 inch with 1/4 inch thick walls that are on the tile. Anyway, those got old, and then like 2 or 3 years ago, I did these. Lot of work, highly stylized, sort of cartoonish or cel shaded, but they pop on the table really nicely. But then at some point I did these modular castle walls and towers, and in doing that I used foam and I tried to get a realistic stone texture for the first time ever. And these came out really good. I love the way that they look, and ever since then I've been thinking, I kind of want my dungeon tiles to look like that. Now, for guidance, we go to the Crazy Canuck Black Magic Craft. Revisited his own tiles last year, and I really like the way his stone comes out. It also looks very easy to achieve. Every crafter on YouTube has a few things that they've been like their big contribution, or it's like a signature or whatever. Paint kits are one of those, like who does water the best, who can do lava the best. As far as stone goes, I really like the way those look. So this video is going to be like 90% let's watch that video and try and recreate it. The other 10% is whatever, some tweaks. I do want mine to be magnetized. I'm going to stick with the 2x2 form factor, and I'm going to make some doors.
And remember, if you're a 3D printer, you must check out Heroes Horde and their outstanding selection of models for your tabletop gaming, including the original True Tiles lines. The secret sauce at the core of these tiles will be these Magna blocks. I'm not the first to use them, and I won't be the last. There are several different brands that make a variant of this toy, but they're all pretty much the same. These happen to be 2.5 inches across, which matches my old form factor, although that's no longer relevant because these will not have attached walls, but I'm kind of in the mood for a chunkier, spacier tile anyway. I've grown to kind of like that look. So I begin with some graphics medium chipboard. This is that grayish brownish slab you'll find at the back of a legal pad, but you can buy it in bulk like I do if you want. There's links in the video description below. Anyway, I measured and cut out some 2.5-inch squares of this stuff, and hot glued the Magna tile in the middle, making a sandwich out of it. Then I switched over to a thinner cardstock, like food packaging, something of that gauge, and ripped down properly with strips to go around the outside, completely entombing the Magna tile. And I tested to make sure the magnet strength would still be good enough through 2 layers of cardstock. It was. And next, begrudgingly, I got out my Proxxon hot wire table. I am not a foam smith, I'm a cardboard man, but every so often I'll dip my toe in. Here I'm just going to duplicate Jeremy's approach completely. I milled down some sticks that are 1.25 inch square, actually slightly larger than that to account for the width of that cardstock on the side, and then bam, one after another, centimeter thick slabs. As for texturizing, staying with the theme. I've not done this technique before, and I think these quartz rocks are going to shatter and dust up pretty quickly, but it's all I have on hand right now. Yep, this really does the trick. Miraculous. I love it. Brought it home with my half-brick texturing tool to punch up just a little more, and hot glued them to the foundations. Well, it's Sunday afternoon and the kids have some play dates over, so there might be some background ambiance at some point, but my tiles are ready for basing. I am going to do some blackened Mod Podge to protect them, then I'll do a spray with black. But lots of messy brushwork. Base coating means I get to leverage this polished granite countertop that I saved from our kitchen reno, and saved it for a year specifically to be my workbench here because it's God-proof and I can be sloppy and all of it'll just peel right off because it's polished granite. So naturally, I'm going to take every step that I can to protect my pretty polished granite countertop.
Rather be safe than sorry.
At this point, I already had to confess, this stone looked good, even just in black. You cannot do this with cardboard. It's got to be foam. Next was to try out Jeremy's painting kit for stone.
Okay, white zenithal, tint with brown, and we'll come back from there. Okay.
Dry brushing up with a parchment. And washing back down with a 50-50 black-brown oil-based wash. He also recommends going back with a sponge after to clear off just the topmost texture, but I found that once the oil dried, I loved the look as is. And this raw sienna ink color that I used dances a little bit with greenish, so it looks like dungeon grime. I'm quite happy with this.
Well, there must be something novel I can bring today. I think we'll make some doors, so come on in close.
To make a standard dungeon door, I go back to that graphics medium chipboard. I like them to be 1 1/4 by 2 inches, so I cut 2 of those, and then a smaller rectangle which gets hot glued in the middle, like a sandwich. This creates a channel on all 4 sides into which some hot glue can seep and make a very strong bond.
I'll do a little math with a 2.5 inch wide tile and a 1 1/4 inch wide door, which is what I like to do. That means a frame of 5/8 inch thick blocks. So I'm going to rip those down now. Okay, so now it's a matter of finding a combination of these that add up to 2.5. Okay, so that's the top. And now for the height, I like them to be 2 inches tall. So we gotta find a combination that makes 2 inches. You can just use this mat actually.
I finished the doors themselves as I often do with coffee stirrer sticks. First I cut cardstock rectangles at 1 1/4 by 2 and pre-painted them black. Then glued on the sticks. Doused them with a heavily watered down asphaltum. Used more cardstock for all of the iron bits, and some jewelry hoops as the door pulls. All of this is attached with white glue. I used this rough iron color from the new Army Painter Warpaints Fanatic line. Army Painter is a friend of the channel, and this new line is life-changing, or hobby life-changing at least. Then with good old trusty Army Painter Strong Tone, I heavily washed down the entire door and let it lay flat while it dried. And these inserts just get glued directly onto that existing slab in the middle. I also made a doorless archway, just an opening to another hallway, and a secret door, like a section of the wall that's been found and rotated. Man, these are a joy to use. I love the chunky form factor, and the magnets are a real satisfying click. You gotta toss them and they just jump to each other. Oh, so satisfying. Durable too. You get the sense that they're gonna last forever. Incidentally, as for the 1x2 tiles upon which the doors are mounted, those have no magnet tiles in them. I just used double corrugated cardboard to get that thickness in the middle sandwich. So those are not magnetized. I've come to make peace with the fact that most modern maps are not drawn with shared walls, so that whole concern I used to have really doesn't exist anymore. The clip-on features were great, they put me on the map, they helped this channel jumpstart, but clip-on features require walls, and walls means making 8 times as many tiles as you would just blanks like this. So I'm going to mass produce and make a bunch more of these, and this is going to be my method. Basically, I think forevermore, for at least the next 8 months. Hey, are you new here? Or actually, even if you're not new here, the numbers say you're still probably not subscribed. I tell you what, don't like this video. Don't check out my Patreon. Don't check out my affiliate links. Don't do any of that. What means more than any of that to me is a subscribe. If you like this video, please subscribe and click the reminder bell icon. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. I'm Wylock. Make things and play games.